Hey guys, so in today's video, I'm going to be testing out the new and highly anticipated Fenty Beauty Makeup Foundation and Primer. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you, I did use this foundation yesterday because I was just so excited to see how it wore and all that good stuff. But I did only wear it for about 3 or 4 hours or so. So I'm actually going to do a review and give you my thoughts on how it wore yesterday, as well as, you know, more thoughts on the foundation, and then do a wear test to see how it wears for more hours. I'm going to be probably wearing it for more, well, obviously more than that time, but I'm going to do a little longer of a wear to see how that affects the makeup and all that good stuff. And yeah, so let's go ahead and get right into it. So like I said, I have the foundation, but I also have the primer as well. And so we're just going to use both of them today, and I'll give you my thoughts on them, and then we'll be together through a wear test. So this is what the primer looks like. I don't know if you can tell. It's got like a soft matte or a soft pink nude color, and it is, you know, it feels very luxurious, very heavy, and it has the Fenty Beauty logo on the front. And this is the what is the exact name? This is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Primer, and this is supposed to give you a smooth pore diffusing finish and extend makeup wear. And yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and use this right now. This is what it looks like. I'm gonna do 2 pumps. It's got like a it's almost very like creamy slash, but it's like creamy, but it's not. And I don't know if that makes any sense. Like, it feels creamy, but when you put it on the skin, it almost kind of feels like it almost feels like a moisturizer. So it's got that moisturizing feel to it. And I will say, when I used this yesterday, I was expecting more of like a silicone type primer, you know, like the Smashbox photo finish, because usually when I think of like pore diffusing, I think of like a silicone based primer, which this is not. It's not, it doesn't feel silicone-y at all. But I'm just gonna go in with a little extra in my pore areas, just to kind of help those little pores out. Yeah, so yesterday when I wore this, I was a little confused. I was like, how is this gonna, you know, smooth out my pores? But you'll be interested to, it's interesting to watch, because when I put the foundation on, it actually did like make my pores like almost non-existent. So like I said, the primer yesterday was not what I was expecting, but it ended up working out pretty well. I thought it did help minimize the appearance of my pores when I used the foundation. And honestly, and I'll tell you, yesterday was one of my, this combination between the foundation and the primer, I feel like was one of my best like face makeup days that I've had in a really long time. Like, it looked so good, but I'll just like let you be the judge of that. So now I'm gonna go into the foundation, and this is of course the Fenty Beauty foundation. This is what it looks like. I got the shade 310, and it recommends for you to shake it. Now, when I was in the Sephora store looking for, you know, my shade, of course they were out of a lot of shades, so I was nervous I was not going to get my shade. But I had the help of, you know, one of the Sephora makeup artists, and she was helping me, you know, pick my shade. And we tried out 3 shades, and the shade that I thought was going to be my shade ended up being too dark, because this foundation does oxidize a little. So when you're going to look for this shade, I would recommend you like maybe putting a couple stripes on your neck of which shade you think, of the shades you think that may be your shade, and then give it a couple minutes, walk around the store, you know, and then come back and look at it, because what I thought was going to be my shade ended up being a little too dark, and it would have been noticeable on my face, whereas one that I thought was going to be light, which was this shade, ended up being the perfect shade for me. So I'm going to pump some on the back of my hand, and I noticed this right off the bat yesterday that this foundation is really liquidy. Like, it's very liquidy, so that's just something to take account of. I'm gonna pat this onto my face with my Morphe Beauty sponge. Oh, first let me zoom you in. Alright, so now that you're zoomed in, I'm gonna blend this out. Make sure I bring it down my neck. And what I noticed yesterday when I was doing this was, so I used 3 pumps, and I think I used the same amount yesterday. And 3 pumps is pretty good. It gets all over my face. However, I do think I need to go in with maybe 1.5 pumps more on areas that I think I need more coverage. This foundation does have a pretty good coverage, I think. I would call it more medium than full, but I feel like, and I know from yesterday, it's very blendable because I ended up putting, you know, some more on some spots that I needed it, which I'll do in a second. And it didn't go weird or didn't get cakey, so it is very blendable. So I'm going to go back in with maybe 1 pump more and go on areas that I need it the most, like my cheeks, my chin, here, and my forehead. Then maybe some over here in these areas, and then I'm just going to blend this out. See, I don't know if you can tell, but the foundation has already oxidized just a teeny bit from what I put on. So this is how it was when you first put it on versus how it goes when it starts oxidizing, which is fine because it oxidizes to my skin color. But just be aware of that when you're buying your shade, because you don't want to get a shade that is your exact color and then it go darker than what you wanted it to be. So alright, so this is what the foundation is looking like. So far it looks really good. I am going to try to zoom you in just a teeny bit more so you can see my pores and stuff up close. So I don't know if you can tell, but this area of my face, like when I'm looking at it, when I look at it, it looks almost as if I don't have any pores at all. It is kind of crazy. Like, I've never experienced this good of, I don't know, like coverage and, you know, effects from a primer too. Like, my pores look really good, and they're almost like not even there. Like, if you get, like, you're not gonna be able to see because I'm getting really close, but like if I can get really close to my camera, I mean my mirror, I can see them, but like it's not anything like I've, you know, it's kind of weird. Like, it looks really good on my skin. And I noticed this yesterday when I wore it, and I got compliments yesterday about how my skin looked really good and what foundation I was wearing, what primer I was using, because it just looks so good. And another thing I got was that this foundation looks really natural on my skin, which I'm all about full coverage, but I do like my skin to look like my skin, you know. So, and I got that from multiple people, so I was really impressed with the foundation and how it was looking to me and how it was looking to others. So alright, so now that I have the foundation and primer on, I'm going to go ahead and do the rest of my face, and I will come back just to show you how my face is looking with all my powders, bronzer, you know, blush, highlight, and all that good stuff on it. Alright guys, I'm back. I finished all of my makeup, and I am, just as yesterday, I am in love with this foundation so far. It really makes my skin look just almost poreless. It's kind of crazy. I've never experienced it to this extent with a foundation or a primer. I love the primer. I think that has a lot to do with how the foundation is looking on my skin as far as my pores, but I love the foundation as well. I think the foundation looks so skin-like. It, like, when I put all my powders on it and everything, it doesn't look cakey. It doesn't look like I'm overly wearing makeup, which is, you know, a lot because I wear a lot of makeup, so it's gonna look like makeup, but it still looks very natural, you know what I'm saying? So I'm in love with the foundation so far. I'll zoom you in just a teeny bit so you can see what it's looking like. So this is what it's looking like on my face. It looks very good. It is very matte, however, it does kind of have, like, I did spray some like rose water spray, so that's kind of still drying on my face, but It does look really pretty, and it looks very, I don't know if you can tell, but it just looks so natural, and I'm so into it. I love how it looks. So yeah, it is, right now it is 2:28. I'm actually I'm about to get dressed for work and go to work, and I will be there for quite a while, and then I'll come back and I'll give you, you know, just a rundown of how the makeup is looking and how it wore and how it felt on my skin throughout the rest of the day. So yeah, I will see you guys later, and I'll give you some check-ins. Okay guys, so I am back. I have been out for quite a long time now. I just got back from work. I went and sat down and ate some dinner, and now I am back to give you my final review slash thoughts on the Fenty Beauty foundation and primer. My makeup's been on for about 8 hours. I put my makeup on around 2, and it is 10 o'clock in the nighttime. So yeah, my makeup's been on for quite a while now, and I am ready to give you my final thoughts on the Fenty Beauty foundation and primer. So I'm going to zoom you guys in so you can see my face a little bit better, and we can talk about how my face looks. Okay, so this is how my face is looking right now. I am super duper impressed with the longevity and just the overall wear of this foundation. It's not like any other foundation I've worn, and I can really tell that this foundation helps keep your face matte, and the primer helps keep your face matte, because literally my face is like the slightest bit oily. Like, obviously you can tell I'm a little oily here in this area, and I have a little oil on my chin and just a tiny bit in my forehead area. But even that is like, what you see on camera still looks, I feel like it looks a little bit more exaggerated than what I'm seeing in the mirror, because when I look in the mirror, I barely see anything on my forehead, and I only see a little bit right here in this pore area and a little on my chin, and that is it. Usually after a shift at work or a long day out, I would be really oily. Like, this whole area would be oily, my nose would be oily, and to the point where, like, if I was to touch my nose, my makeup would slick off because it's just oily. And my makeup has stayed on so well. Like, I am really impressed. I have all my makeup there. Like, normal places that my makeup wipes off first is like my nose area. I still have it on there. My chin area, still perfect on my chin area. I do have slight wear here, but that's probably from me wiping my face just aggressively, because sometimes I do that and I forget that I have makeup on and stuff like that. So, and it's only in this like area here. Like, I don't know if you can like tell, but my makeup still looks really good, besides the fact that it's just a little oily, and that's it. My pores still look amazing. Like, my pores don't look any more enlarged, or they don't, I mean, they don't look, you know, more visible now than they did in the beginning. Like, it still looks very, very good, and I'm really impressed. Like, I'm seeing that this foundation is probably going to be one of my favorites and one of my go-tos, just because this makeup still looks really good. And I got a lot of compliments at work on my makeup as well. Like, your makeup looks really good, your face looks really clear, and you know, my skin looks good. That's what I got. So yeah. Alright guys, and that completes this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts on the Fenty Beauty by Rihanna foundation and primer. I'm really, really impressed with both of these products, especially because when we hear about a celebrity coming out with a makeup brand, we always get kind of skeptical, because sometimes the products don't work very well, and they're really high priced, and you know, just there's been a lot of, you know, stuff going around with the Kim K stuff, and you know, all that stuff about celebrity makeup. So for this to be really good, it exceeded my expectations on how I thought it was going to wear. I really am impressed with this foundation, and I'm really impressed with the primer as well. I cannot tell you, like, there are primers that I really do love that do the same thing, but I feel like this one did what I expect and that much more of a primer. It really just made my foundation and my pores look like minimal. So I'm really super impressed with this line. I am so excited to continue to use it, and yeah, so that completes this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this foundation review wear test video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe, like this video, give it a big thumbs up, and comment things you'd like to see down in the in the comments down below. And until next time, guys, bye.